Hey, this is Leon Poe, man. You listen to Causeway Street Podcast.
What's up, y'all? This is Kenny Anderson. Y'all listen to the Causeway Street Podcast.
For all you new listeners out there, I'm your host, Joseph Pavone. I'm joined as usual by my two co-hosts.
I'm Sean Dutra. What's up?
Yeah, talk about
walks
yourself.
on the bee.
There you go. Joel Pavone. What up?
I'm a Pisces. The most romantic.
It leads off with that.
The most romantic sign in all the zodiac.
Oh,
If you couldn't tell by my voice already.
oh,
Sexy.
I'm the producer of this ensemble that we call Causeway Street. In case you missed it.
Hey, Bill Walton here, Celtics 1986. You're listening to the Causeway Street Podcast. Yeah, come here for nothing but the truth. This is where dreams come true. Thank you, Boston, for my life.
where are we going?
You guys are such homers.
It's your boy Terry Rozier. You're listening to the Causeway Street Podcast. Now listen to my boys Joe, Sway, Joel, and Sean.
Guess I'll just keep on loving you. I hear the people talk, whistling when you walk. Your kind is hard to find. Darling, I'm glad you're mine.
So just like that, a best of 7 series is now a best of 3. The Celtics and the Cavaliers tied up at 2 games apiece as the series switches over to Boston. And this is pretty much an emergency podcast because originally we were going to record this after game 5, but Joel hit me up and said, listen, Joseph, we need to get on the mic now and talk about how the Celtics can grab a 3-2 lead before the series goes back to Cleveland for game 6. So that's why we're here right now. Joseph Pavone here. Joel, the Pavone brothers are in the building.
What up?
For another edition of the Causeway Street Podcast. Joel, we knew that game 3 was obviously going to be a really tough matchup for the Celtics. We knew the Cleveland Cavaliers were going to bounce back and avoid going down 3-0, but I did think the Celtics had a shot to grab one game in Cleveland. That was my mindset in this series heading into Cleveland, that if they just grab one, they will be in terrific shape, obviously up 3-1, heading back to Boston. That wasn't the case in game 4. The Cleveland Cavaliers topped the Celtics 111-102. Joel, what went wrong in game 4 for the Celtics in your opinion?
They fell into a 17-point hole again in the first quarter.
That is something that happens.
And they
yes.
never, and they
similar
never
to what we saw in Game 3.
They never recovered from it. The only difference between Game 3 and 4 was that they didn't let it get to 30.
Yeah, that's true. But there's a big reason why, though, right? Because in Game 3, and this is I couldn't preach this enough after Game 3, was the fact that Al Horford didn't get his touches, didn't get his attempts. They didn't run the offense through him. And the very first possession of Game 4 went straight to Al. That's exactly what you saw. That's what I wanted to see. 13 attempts. That's what I kept saying. Al Horford needs 13, 14, 15 attempts. Anywhere between 13 and 15 attempts, you're in good shape. 5 of 13, finished with 15 points, 7 rebounds. It's a solid night for Al Horford. The rest of the stars all finished in double figures. However, down the stretch in the fourth quarter, late game execution, I think, really dug them in. And let me tell you why. For starters, the 3-point shots. And listen, Terry Rozier, we've seen him do it time and time again. Comes down, sees a decent look, jacks up a 3. He did it more than once, obviously, throughout the night. He converted 3 of 9 from deep. And down the stretch, he had a couple of plays where he could have got inside, but elected to go for the 3. But I didn't hate it, though, because he's done it so many times. So I don't blame him, but at the end of the day, you know what the old cliche is. You live and die by the 3. I feel like the Celtics died by it. And they also weren't making their layups. Man.
They were making their dunks.
Brad Stevens, he must have took it back to the old school, textbook stuff. Let's go, guys. Layup lines. That's it. I want to see nothing but layup lines from here on out. Before the game, an hour in practice. Everyone get on your layups because they have to finish at the rim if they're going to compete against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
They were missing their free throws, too.
That didn't help either.
Didn't help
at all.
No. Well, if you read my keys to Game 4 on CausewayStreet.com.
Oh, is that where he goes?
Thank you very much.
CausewayStreet.com.
There you go. You brought up one of my points as well. The Celtics needed playoff Al to make an appearance in Cleveland because the ghost of the Quicken Loans Arena was present in Game 3 for Al Horford. It's just a place that he doesn't play well in, regular season or playoffs. So we kind of saw him be a little more aggressive.
Yeah, I thought he had a solid game.
I thought so too. But the Celtics also needed Scary Terry to make an appearance on the road.
Big time.
And we kind of saw it. Maybe it was maybe not completely scary. Maybe it was more like a little scare. Like a half a scare.
Little baby scare.
Little
Spooked.
Little
Spooked Terry.
whoa, Terry. Because like you said, I didn't hate those shots that he took.
Right, I didn't.
Because we
should hate it though, right?
Yeah.
But we've seen him.
But you know what shots
in the fourth quarter with those shots.
You know who I hated taking shots like that in both Game 3 and Game 4?
Who?
Marcus Smart.
Oh, Marcus didn't have a good trip. Marcus had a really, really bad trip.
And he actually plays well in Cleveland. Not this time.
No, he looked terrible.
Not this time. Not this time.
Like on both ends of the floor, he was
completely bad.
Thoroughly bad.
Completely bad. Like he would make a steal and then throw the ball away.
Yeah, he did that more than once, especially in both games. Yeah, it drove me crazy.
Like I don't know.
It's like he was trying to do too much. It was like he wasn't letting the offense flow through him. It was almost like he was forcing the issue. And when it came to coming up with the defensive stops, he was so eager to make the next play that it was either a turnover or a uncontested, or I should say a chuck. He would just chuck up a shot and just it did no good for the Celtics.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, I had nothing but great things to say about him last episode because since he returned up until Game 2 of this series, he's been great. Mm-hmm. He's been great. Even at times when he gets a little trigger happy from beyond the arc, but he makes up for it. This trip, didn't like the way Marcus Smart played.
Yeah,
didn't like the way he played at all. I get it. He did play good defense on LeBron at times, but I feel like, I don't know, he was complaining a lot to the refs. And I've gone on record saying that the refs aren't a fan of both Marcuses on this team.
No. Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Yeah.
So with that in mind, they have to not, I don't know. I guess the best way is that they have to play all the rest of the team in terms of like the refs. And I hate talking about the refs. Like we shouldn't have to talk about them. We shouldn't even know them by their names.
Yeah. Well, I feel like in Game 3 there was a more of a difference between how many attempts at the free throw line or just ticky-tacky fouls in general. I mean, there was that epic third quarter where both teams scored, what? Correct me if I'm wrong here. Was it 17 fouls, I think it was? Something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, it was closer to like 20.
But at the end of the day, I mean, it evened out, You
know which game I loved offensively? I mean, officiating wise.
Hold on, was it 26 and 23? So it was a plus 3 for the Celtics. Celtics had 26 fouls. Cavs had 23. Go ahead.
Game 2. I think that's been the best officiated game in this series. They let them play. It was a lot of physicality.
The physicality play. Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's true.
So much that even Lou was like, "Whoa!" Like the Celtics are.
Oh, they're gooning it.
Gooning it up.
That's right.
Trying to play tough guy kind of ball. And then the next 2 games, it's like you're just looking at LeBron, for example, and he's at the free throw line. And it shouldn't be like that. Like if you're gonna call it one way, call it the same way on the other side. The Marcus Morris three-pointer in front of Kevin Love. The hell was that? Sweep the leg? What the hell? Sweep the leg? What was the Karate Kid? Cobra Kai shit? What the fuck was that? And then it was a foul on Marcus?
The Cobra Kai mentality.
What the hell was that?
Sweep the leg.
Well, that should have been that 3-pointer should have counted, number 1. Whether you call it an offensive foul or not, the 3-pointer should have counted.
Well, if you look at the box score, I think that's a bit of a concern if you're a Celtics fan, because you look at Kevin Love, he had 9 points, 11 rebounds. Obviously, LeBron James went off 44 points, 5 rebounds. LeBron went off plus 40. What is it? 40 plus
7 turnovers though.
6 plus 40 point performance of the playoffs, ties Allen Iverson for the record. But yeah, a lot of turnovers. Well, hold on, but let me finish my point about the officiating. The Celtics have to ignore the officiating the way Brad Stevens does. Like Brad Stevens in the game, if he's got something to say, he's going to say it. But afterwards, when he's asked, and he said it after Game 4, I got nothing but good things to say about the officials, even though some things could have gone the other way. Mm-hmm. Celtics have to do the same thing. The rest of them have to not do that
Not the LeBron thing where every time LeBron gets called for a foul, like, oh my God,
Literally
put your hands up and put your
every
hands
single time.
time.
Especially in game 3.
Yeah.
I was like, LeBron,
Yeah.
you're up by 32 points. Why don't you take it easy there, buddy? Why don't you let that one slide? It's the fourth quarter.
He was pulling on my shirt, ref.
Yeah.
He was pulling on my shirt.
You're not going to, you're not planting a seed here for the rest of the series. You complain for this foul. But no, what I was going to say is, you look at the box score, right? Yeah, obviously LeBron went off for 44. Love only scored 9. You got 13 from Thompson, 13 from Hill. I mean, you could say it was a well-balanced attack. Of course, with Korver with 14, he really lit it up from behind the arc as well. He had a couple of trays, really got the momentum going for the Cavaliers.
Some stops, some blocks.
But overall, I mean, you could write this off as a LeBron win. Those 44 points went a long way for this team. Because if you look at the Celtics box score, I mean, from afar, if I were, without knowing the final score, if I was to be handed these 2 box scores, I would assume the Celtics won this game. Jaylen Brown, 25 points, 16 from Rozier, 17 for Tatum, 10 from Morris, 15 from Horford. So at the end of the day, in my opinion, it came down to the late game execution. And that type of shortcomings is going to happen. This is a young Celtics team. We obviously know that. So I think, yes, it was a loss. Yes, the Cleveland Cavaliers were the better team that night. However, if you're the Celtics or if you're a Celtics fan, you have to feel pretty good about this team heading back home for Game 5 because you look at the well-balanced attack, you saw how they played on the road, and if the Celtics can take Game 5, obviously you head back to Cleveland feeling a lot more confident than you did 2 days before that.
I want to know, when you talk about late game execution, and I include Brad Stevens in that, why was Aaron Baines taken out when the Celtics were down 7?
Yeah, you're really upset about that.
I'm still upset.
I didn't make the trip to Cleveland, so I got to watch the game with Joel, and he was not feeling that switch up because he did make a couple of big stops right before he made that switch.
Made a couple. He was the only one making his free throws. He was getting in the paint. He was disrupting.
8 points, 9 rebounds in 16 minutes. That's solid outing.
Grabbing boards, making sure that the Cavs weren't grabbing offensive boards because that's also killing the Celtics. Offensive boards. Second and third chance opportunities for the Cavs. I hate that shit. That shit pisses me off. Yeah. To bring back Morris to guard LeBron with 5 fouls. Like, how was Morris going to guard LeBron with 5 fouls? Think about that.
Well, I think he was looking for, obviously, his offensive production. The Celtics were behind.
Well, that's fine.
They managed to get it down to 7, and that's when I thought Brad Stevens was trying to make his push. And we saw Morris make a 3, late in the third or early in the fourth quarter before that change happened.
But with 5 minutes left.
And I think that's why he made that switch.
With 5 minutes left, and Baines literally was on the roll. On both ends. Keep him in a little bit. Like,
you want to see an ISO Baines popping?
Give him a little
you
more.
You want to see him you see him top of the key popping threes?
No, but
what you want to see?
No, but he was making life hard for those guys because they started jump shooting again, especially LeBron. LeBron wasn't taking it to the hoop. They weren't grabbing offensive rebounds when Baines was in that for that stretch before he got taken out. Down 7. That's the closest they got.
All right. Well, let me ask you this: do you think that Brad Stevens should really take into consideration of putting him into the starting lineup for Game 5? Do you think he should stick to what he has? Should Baines be playing closer to 20 minutes? I mean, what kind of adjustments do you expect to see from Brad Stevens heading into Game 5?
Shout out to you, Trags. I agree with him. Baines should have started in Game 4.
No, he shouldn't have.
He should have.
With all due respect,
you should have. You got to like
the legend Trags.
You play him in spurts. You don't. I'm not saying he should have played. What is it? How many minutes did he even play? I don't even think he even played 20 minutes. He played 16 minutes.
That's what I'm
saying.
16. You want to see 16 minutes to 20.
20 minutes. Those extra, like I said.
I mean, there's only 3 guys who played off the bench. Him, Ojale, and Smart. And Smart got 31. Ojale got 9. So
Ojale's giving you 0.
Yeah,
He's doing nothing.
Jeez Louise.
Doing nothing. God bless him.
I wanted to get a stop or something.
He's
struggling out there.
Shemi did his thing in the first 2 rounds.
What's his name?
Shemi. But he ain't doing a damn thing in this series. So you need him.
Did you put an H in there?
No. It just rolls off the tongue. Shemi. With Ojale not doing anything, you're bringing Morris off the bench, and then you have a little more balance off your bench because Smart, at least in Cleveland, I'm hoping he turns this around at the Guardian, but Smart has to, I don't know, have a more balanced game that he just like the way he did in the first 2 games of the series.
Yeah,
play better. Thank you. He just needs to play better. But if he's the only one that you're counting on coming off your bench, that's not good. You know, the two Marcuses coming off the bench, like that's kind of badass, right? And then you got Baines doing his thing. Baines wasn't in foul trouble. Morris was. Smart got into foul trouble.
And Morris got into foul trouble early too.
Yeah.
Like right away. What, he had 3 fouls in that first quarter?
So that's that right there, that disrupts his rhythm. And then you're forced to go to Baines. I don't like when Brad's team is forced to go to Baines. Bring him in early. Oh, we'll start him. And then you play him in spurts. First 5-6 minutes, bring in Morris. Morris plays the rest of the quarter. Second quarter, the first 2 minutes of the second quarter, bring back Baines. Like that. Spread the minutes. Because you're shortening your bench, obviously. So spread the minutes with those key guys, especially the ones that are guarding LeBron James.
Yeah, I think when Morris got into foul trouble, I mean, there were times where Brad Stevens could have taken him out. You could say that about other guys too. I just think Brad Stevens doesn't look at foul trouble as a big reason to take somebody out. I mean, maybe down the stretch he'll do it in the second half, but if someone picks up 2 or 3 fouls in the first quarter, I mean, if he wants you out there, you're going to stay out there. So maybe that's not always the best game plan moving forward, but I just think that Morris has sort of been his like security blanket when it comes to those switches against LeBron James. And like if you got Aaron Baines out there, I just think he just envisions Baines being out there one-on-one, caught with LeBron James, and it just usually doesn't end well. And that's been the case for a lot of guys. You know, how many times throughout the last 2 games do you see Marcus Morris down low with Kevin Love? Or do you see Terry Rozier down low with Tristan Thompson? I mean, like it seems like they constantly are getting caught in the switch, caught on an island down low, and it doesn't end well. I mean, these switches, whether it's a lack of seeing double teams, whether LeBron James is commanding too much attention. I mean, Brad Stevens and the Celtics have to figure out a way to not get caught in those switches where Cleveland's not only in favor, but they not only convert, but they also kill the momentum for the Celtics. Those and one plays, those easy buckets, those loud finishes. How many times is Terry Rozier, or how many times are we going to see Marcus Smart down low with those big guys in a tough position or against LeBron James? I mean, I think when you have someone like Morris out there, it minimizes those chances of that happening. And you also have a guy who can keep up with LeBron James. We saw that in games 1 and 2. We just didn't see as much in 3 and 4.
All right, let me clarify when I talk about I want Baines starting. I don't want Baines to guard LeBron James.
But that's what you risk, and that's what Ty Lue will highlight, or that's what he'll target. That'll be his main target, is to get Baines switched onto LeBron James.
What's going to happen in game 5, my prediction for game 5 is that Jaylen Brown is going to have the majority of his minutes guarding LeBron James. That's what I think is going to happen. Frees up Marcus Morris, because I think when Marcus Morris has it going offensively, it duplicates on the other side, on the other end. When he's feeling it offensively, then the defense just happens. It just rolls like that's that much easier for him, because he's like, I'm feeling it tonight, and I'm going to show you that I can also play defense. Because he's also a good rebounder, but we haven't really seen that too much since game 1 of this series. So I mean, the Celtics need to control the boards again, something that came easy to them in the first 2 games, and the Celtics need to limit those points in transition from the Cavs. Which I hate those. I really do.
Which they did an amazing job at in the games 1 and 2.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about the other guys, though, because they've obviously woken up in this series. We saw a completely different supporting cast for LeBron James. We saw guys like J.R. Smith light it up. I mean, he had a better game 3 than he did in game 4, but he still managed to knock in 3 trays from deep. It's pretty much what he does. Korver hit a couple, so they combined for 5 3-pointers. You also saw Nance Jr. get some playing time, which I've been preaching since after game 2. Ever since that spat with that reporter between Ty Lue and that guy, we haven't seen Ronnie Hood, and they've had 2 wins, so I don't expect to see him in game 5. But if you look at the rest of this bench, I mean, Jeff Green, Nance Jr., Kyle Korver. I mean, heck, these guys, you get plus 20 points out of your bench if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, that's a good day if you're the Cavs, because we certainly didn't see that in games 1 and 2.
We talked a lot about this term on the last episode, the narrative for the Celtics, right? Great home team, shitty road team, right?
Correct.
What about Cleveland?
1-6.
What about Cleveland? Cleveland is 7-1 at home, so that means they got a shitty road record, right?
Yeah. A lot of L's on the road.
A lot of L's on the road. So, what the Celtics have to do, because they've learned their, I'm hoping they've learned their lesson in the last 2 games. Set the fucking tone early. Do not fall into a double-digit hole, because as we've seen the last 2 games, it's damn near almost impossible to get out of, especially when LeBron is on.
But shit, even in game 2, though, when LeBron dropped 21, the Celtics were trailing by 8 points?
Yeah.
That's a good day. That's a good day because you got Jaylen Brown going off as well. But
that's true. Forgot about that.
Even at halftime, trailing by about 8, that's a good day. You take that. Trailing by 30 in Cleveland, that's not a good day.
No.
That's
what did Doc Rivers always say?
That's too deep of a hole to get out of.
It's the game of runs.
Yes.
I mean,
one of many cliches from Doc.
Cleveland just had a lot of runs, more than the Celtics did, and I think you just have to get, like you said earlier in this episode, Al Horford's got to get going early. He got going late, and game 4, maybe a little too late.
Yeah, but just give him his touches. I like that he was getting his touches in game 4. I didn't like what I saw in game 3. Saw a lot of hero ball.
Too much hero ball.
Saw a lot of guys like Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier.
But I'm glad Jaylen Brown had a
chucking up shots,
a great bounce back game, because he's been leading the Celtics in scoring this series. The first 2 games, 23 points in each game. Comes back in game 4 after a shitty game 3.
Yeah,
I mean, not. I don't think anyone but Tatum had a good game 3.
Tatum was the only one.
Tatum was the only one.
Tatum looked good.
Came back with 25 points. Kept the Celtics, within striking distance. Pretty much did the same thing in game 2 when LeBron was going off. And I mean, and look at the final score. Like you said, without looking at the final score, but now let's talk about the final score. LeBron goes off for 40. He has just one other supporting cast member, Korver, scored double digits. I mean, there was other double-digit scores. He had a few, but Korver was the only one.
Korver topped. No one scored more than 14. Korver had 14. Thompson and Hill both had 13. Yes.
And the Celtics lost by what, 9?
Yeah.
Compared to game 3 when no one had it going, and for the Celtics.
That's what I'm saying, though. I think it's an encouraging sign, because at the end of the day, the Celtics played a good game, but it just came down to that fourth quarter. And obviously, LeBron, which is A, too much to handle, and B, a lot of missed layups, a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of I don't want to call it hero shots, but shots where the Celtics decided to go for the home run instead of hitting a single. You know what I mean? Or heck, let's get a double and work our way there. But because they've managed to hit those home runs late in the ninth, to go along with this analogy, and then the bottom of the ninth, because we've seen that so many times before, especially in the playoffs. You said it yourself, seeing Rozier pop those threes wasn't really upsetting as it should have been, because you're thinking, oh, that's going to go in. It didn't. And then again, it didn't go in. And then when they did go in, I think it was Morris, he missed a 2-footer, a layup. Or I think it was a putback. You know? And then you think about all the layups. If you combine the layups throughout the entire game, and shout out to my high school coach who used to do this all the time. He used to add up those points and say, those are points that you could have tacked on to the score. And I always say, Coach, that's not how it works, Coach. You don't just add those points and say to yourself, oh, you would have won by 12. Instead, you lost by 9. No, Coach, it don't work like that. But in this instance, maybe you don't tack on every single layup.
No,
but if you tack on a handful of them, like you said, they lost by 9.
Yeah.
You tack on 5 of those layups, you're in good shape going into the fourth quarter. You put the pressure on the Cavs. The Cavs never felt that pressure in the fourth quarter. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. They never felt that pressure.
That Morris 3-ball, we were talking, it's a 6-point game. Like you said, you missed a couple layups here.
That's the closest they got was 7.
Yeah, no. But if they lost by 9, but if Morris had made it, if that Morris 3 counted, that's 6. If Morris didn't miss another close layup. Yeah. If Tatum made one of those dunks.
Back in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, he did make an alley oop.
That's what I used to say to Coach. Shout out to my coach, Coach Liner from Needham High. I used to say, Liner, that was 2 minutes into the game. Doesn't matter. That's a layup. Right? That is 2 points.
I think pretty much he was telling
we
you
lost by 2.
He's pretty much telling you that like those are points you don't get back.
Yes.
That's it.
In other words, that and free throws drove him nuts. We ran suicide for every single missed free throw.
Free throws.
Every missed free throw. We had to run a suicide for that.
Terry Rozier. Remember he got fouled at the 3-point line. We're like, you know, and it was the middle of that run.
Yeah, free throws drove you nuts. Joel was not happy to see
Missed 2 out of 3 free throws on that play right there. He almost pulled a nader, bro. Almost pulled a nader.
That's the first thing I said, remember?
Yeah.
When you made the last one, he didn't pull a nader, though. They didn't pull a nader.
Jeez. Gotta make your free throws. Got to, man. You got to. You don't get those back, and there's things like that. It's just different moments of the game where you're just like, here it is, here's the run. You know, they score like 5-6 in a row, and then, you know, that one play where you're just like, okay, now it's a, you know, one possession game, and you can't get it. You can't get it.
In front of Mama Rose, too.
In front of Mama Rose, yo. Damn.
Mama Rose was like, I ain't going back to Boston, honey. I'll see you in Game 6, sweetie. Mama Rose. I don't know, man. I feel good for the Celtics heading into Game 5. But this is going 7 now. This is going 7. You've made it complicated. So? Yeah, this is going 7. That was a golden opportunity. You grab a 3-1 lead. You could close it out in Game 5. If not, heck, I'd give him the advantage to close out in Game 6. But because this series is tied up, because this team is feeling more confident than ever throughout this series.
I mean, we talk about.
I just think we see an inevitable Celtics loss in Game 6. And I think it's going to go 7. So I think.
I mean, we talk about Brad Stevens being arguably the best coach in the NBA, right? But this is uncharted territory for him. Never been up over LeBron. Never has been up in an Eastern Conference Finals or Conference Finals. Series is tied, and this is a must-win for the Celtics. You damn sure don't want to go back to Cleveland down 3-2.
So would you say the pressure is more on Boston or on the Cavs?
Pressure's on Boston.
I agree.
Pressure's on Boston.
I 1000% agree. Stephen A. Smith,
but it's
ESPN. Stephen A. Smith says the pressure's still on Cleveland. I say, nah, I think it's on Boston.
The pressure's on Boston because they haven't lost at the Garden.
That adds even more pressure.
And fucking LeBron said it in his stupid post game interview.
Yep.
He said it. He's like, oh, you know, the Garden is a hostile place. And, you know, if you're not wearing green, they don't like you. You know, they haven't lost in the postseason. I'm like, fuck, he knows that. Like. It's one thing to know it.
That just sounded like a 7-year-old LeBron, but I'll take
it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it works.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to sound like him, but
I know. Yeah, it's just funny.
I just
pictured his face with that voice.
There was just that voice just came out. It's just I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck that was. At least it's better than Sean's LeBron, right?
Oh no, Sean's LeBron is the same as every single other person he doesn't like. Well, you know, it's like no one talks like that, Sean. Now, what would he say?
He goes, "My name is LeBron."
Oh yeah, there's the deep one and there's the other one. The other one is the high pitched.
No, it's like the every reporter he hates.
Yeah,
like the Brian Windhorses of the world. Well, today LeBron took a shit and it was extra soft, so you know he might be a little dehydrated for Game 5.
And if you look at his track record, when it's extra soft, that means he typically averages 35 points before the game.
He might be a little dehydrated. He might have to get some Gatorade in him. But
which is why I think it led to the cramps from the other night when he had cramps and he couldn't play anymore.
You know, it might have been contaminated food from a Boston hotel. We don't know. But typically he has great games on May 23rd.
Did you see Windhorse after Game 4?
He was like falling asleep, bro.
No. Well, yeah, he was. But no, not literally after. I mean, like the next day.
Oh, the next day. No,
like his
they talk about like
his ESPN spot. Oh man, the guy was grinning from ear to ear.
They talk about the green room.
Guy was grinning from ear to ear. So
yo, funny. Those first 2 games,
like, it's just amazing. It's incredible stuff. I mean, this team, for everything they've been through, I mean, LeBron, he's just magical. Like the guy just couldn't get enough of it. Loves it.
Yo, there's gotta be
loves it.
There's gotta be, and I don't know if like Stephen A is exempt from what I'm about to say. in terms of every employee that works at ESPN, especially the quote unquote basketball analysts. Maybe Stephen A. because he has seniority, so he doesn't have to go with he doesn't or it's not even in his contract. Fuck it, just put it like that. For everybody else though, everything LeBron James does, every fucking little thing he does is amazing.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
Oh, you mean you didn't think those bounce passes were incredible? The textbook bounce passes that they teach us in high school?
You mean
they teach us in elementary school, excuse me.
You mean the ones that fucking Rajon Rondo did his whole time he was here in Boston?
Rajon Rondo did with his eyes closed. Those ones.
Why?
What was so amazing about those passes in Game 3?
It was left-handed, that's why.
Somebody tell me in the comment section what was so amazing about that. Left-handed bounce pass.
It's because he's been in the league 15 years, Sway, and he's still doing these things.
It's amazing. Incredible. What a look from LeBron James.
He drove to the cup, turned around, and threw it out to find Kyle Korver.
What a pass.
Mama, there goes that man. Like, Mark, really? You too? I think the only person that's not, like, sucking him off is fucking Jeff Van Gundy. Jeff Van Gundy's like, guys, Boston's still the more talented team in this series.
That's greatness.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is LeBron James.
Oh, Mike Brees the worst. Oh, what a pass. Oh, LeBron James. What the nifty pass. Oh.
He is just so amazing to watch, isn't he? Shut the fuck up, Mike Breen. They'll be like talking about like random stuff, and then it'll be like 5 seconds left to end the quarter, and LeBron obviously he'll run out the clock and do his patent and go either go left or right, and then that step back stupid fadeaway, and LeBron at the buzzer,
leg, yeah,
and he just goes silent. But if he makes it, bang!
Oh my gosh, LeBron James! Oh.
And even if Cleveland is losing, could this be the seeds of an amazing comeback by LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers? Like, Jeff Van Gundy just looks at him like, bro, they're only down 4. Like, calm the fuck down. It's like, what's wrong with you?
Get a hold of yourself, Mike.
Get a hold of yourself, Mike. Relax.
Keep it in your pants, Mike. Easy.
You used to work on NBC. Like, you've seen, like, other great players. Like, what the fuck? It's so amazing about LeBron James at this point.
I mean,
at this point.
Not for nothing, though. Let's be honest. He's balling up. I give it to him.
No, but why is it amazing?
Particular plays, the passes, and everything. It's like, come on, it's nothing crazy about it. You want to talk about the runs? You want to talk about the stat line? You want to talk about how he put the team on his back? All right, I'm with you. I get it. LeBron James is carrying this team. LeBron James is adding to what I knew heading into the series is the best playoff performance we've seen from him overall. But however,
hold on,
individual plays, yes, it hasn't been anything that's drove me.
But
that I thought was crazy throughout these conference finals.
But if it's already expected out of him, and if we've seen him do this, why is it still amazing?
Because he's still doing it.
I don't know, man. I don't see it.
I mean, look, 6 40-plus point performances. That's dope. That's I mean, for someone who's been doing it for so long, that's incredible. Hats off to LeBron. When it's all said and done, he eventually leaves Cleveland, we'll say, hey, he never gave up. He gave it his all.
I think it'd be more amazing if he was like 40 still doing this. That's amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, to do it this long, look, he's got a lot of miles on those legs, man.
Yeah, but he's, I got to give it to him. Like, he is unique in that aspect that it doesn't matter how many, like you said, he's got a lot of miles. He's, gone to 7 straight finals. He plays basketball into, well into June, and he still comes back. And he, this last season he just played all 82 games.
Still waiting for this dude to get injured. Still, like we've been saying that for like the last 3 years since we started this podcast. That he's due for an injury.
He's there, Max. You waiting for him to fall off a cliff too?
No,
Take it easy. Take it easy.
I'm just saying everyone gets injured.
No, but he and that I give him,
hasn't happened.
It's not like I'm giving it to him, but I'm like I applaud that. I applaud that he's still consistent. You have when you talk basketball with different people, friends or whoever, and you're like, nah, man, everyone's trying to put like an expiration date on him. Like, he's got like 2 more years tops. Nah, he's going to he's going to be playing for a while.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing for a while. Because
have that conversation when he gets closer to 4.
Yeah, no, because he does. He puts he reminds you every fucking game. You know, I put the work in.
Oh man,
the work I put in.
He gave
the work I put in.
Yo, he gave the.
You knew where I came from.
Yo, he gave the NBA Finals speech.
No, he gave.
I worked so hard. This, that, and the other.
And
but LeBron, Kyrie Irving hit that big shot. Yeah, that's a good shot. But look, man, I'm in this gym every single day. You know,
I put the work.
It just
in.
means so much.
I put
the work in. Did I tell you how much work I put in? I put in a lot.
Okay.
I'm LeBron James.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. It just feels so good to know after all the work I put in that, you know, I got to thank the man above.
I'm so blessed.
Yeah, I got to thank the man above because he's willed me to put the work in. It's like great. You put the work in. We get that.
A lot
we
of
understand
work.
That. It's a lot of work you've been putting.
Work hard.
You work.
Yeah. Before you ask another question, early mornings, every day. Work is being put in.
Oh, you know what else he threw in right after when what's her name? Doris Burke was interviewing him. Maybe when it's all said and done, you'll know my full story.
Oh, jeez.
It's like, what the fuck? You just tied up a series, bro. You're not going to the finals yet. Like, relax, guy. Relax.
It's like when you dropped the line on me. Well, if you see my playoff history,
I've seen every type of coverage.
Every coverage. I've seen it all. Dagname it.
That's why, in my opinion,
it's a feel-out game.
He'll never be the greatest of all time because of those little things like that. Like, you're feeling yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta stay humble. Because there's a reason why Kyrie Irving was like, "I'm good with you, bro."
Yeah,
there's a reason for that.
His back is hurting him, and it's self-inflicted. Like, constantly patting himself on the back.
Not that I'm saying like
constantly.
If they didn't, you know, make any of those trades, I'm not saying that, you know, they should have kept Isaiah, but there's a reason why Isaiah was always talking about like how that locker room is not a championship locker room.
Mm.
There was a reason for that.
The guy's ass out of there real quick.
Like,
this guy's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
He is not being a Cleveland soldier. That is not what we do here. I'm 50 Cent and he's the game. He's got to go. Shout out if you got
if you got that reference.
Yeah, if you got that reference, you are not a millennial.
Kudos to you.
Yeah, for real.
Kudos to you.
All right, let's head out west real quick. And if you want to get one final thought in, we'll get that in at the end.
Cool.
But this series, man.
Also.
I'm also at 2-2. Yes, also at 2 games apiece. But in this series, they're heading back to Houston now.
Also, does the Warriors no good?
Yes, it doesn't.
Does the Warriors no good?
Talk about execution down the stretch. The Golden State Warriors had a chance to pull ahead.
Houston did what they were supposed to do. Not go any lower than 2-2 heading into Game 5.
Oh, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Just talk to Sean Dutra about that. But no, like I was saying, speaking of late game execution, you can say the same thing about the Golden State Warriors, except for they got some good looks, especially a wide open look for Steph Curry that didn't go down after he just pretty much made every shot he took in the third quarter. That wasn't the case in the fourth quarter, but Joel, you made a good point. We watched this game together. Kevin Durant
together lately, bro. Hey,
yeah, that's what happens when CLS doesn't send you on the road.
Whoa, shots fired.
But it's neither here or there. Kevin Durant, you say he was being a little too shy in the fourth quarter.
Yo, what the fuck, yo? He turned back to OKC, Kevin Durant, there in that last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Shout out to James Harden. How fitting.
He could have taken over that game at any point, especially because like I said, those last 5 minutes, the Warriors wrote it down by like 3 or 4 points. It never got any more than that for Houston. So I think it was the Warriors who gave up that game more than the Rockets taking it.
Oh, come on, man! You gonna throw shade on the Rockets, man? On H-Town?
I mean,
H-Town came to play, man.
No, but the Rockets
they stuck with it.
You're right. But
they survived that third quarter from Steph Curry.
Yeah, but the Rockets did what they were supposed to do, was make sure that the Warriors don't go on a little run, and Kevin Durant had a lot to do with that because he didn't do anything, especially that last play before they reviewed the phantom foul on fucking Livingston. I don't know where the fuck that was all about.
The push off,
and then you have
Chris, the line.
You have Chris Paul, instead of just icing the game and making both free throws or making one or missing the other, whatever. You give the Warriors another chance?
Another open look.
You give another chance?
I bet you people listening thought I was talking about that three. No, I wasn't talking about the very last three. I was talking about another three under a minute left where Steph got a wide open look. They rotated the ball. Somehow it ended up wide open.
He still had it in his
and
hands,
then he
though,
got
when the lights went off.
and then he got another look. Yeah, at the end. Yeah, 0.5.
Yeah.
If you guys don't remember what Chris Middleton did, it is possible.
Yeah.
After what was it, regulation of game 1, sent that thing into overtime. 0.5 catch and shoot from way downtown.
Brad Stevens somewhere was shaking his head like, you don't do that, man.
Yeah, you missed the free throw on purpose.
Yeah,
What's wrong with you? Come
yeah.
on, Chris.
Yeah.
Lucky he survived that. But Chris Paul's pumped up, man. I'm excited to see what happens. I like the fact that obviously Chris Paul is the first time he's been on this stage, in this situation. He knows that these opportunities aren't going to come along year after year at this stage of his career. So he's been delivering.
He had a great game.
He had a great game. Him and James Harden, I think they figured it out. And I'm telling you, this series will go to distance. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, there's been a little bit of everything, just like in the Celtics series. You got blowouts and you've had close games, right? This game 4 was probably the best game of the series. You can probably say the same thing about the Celtics series.
Yeah, game 2 was good too, but this one was better.
But I mean, I thought it couldn't get any worse, in terms of conference finals games when the Celtics got blown out by 30. But then the Houston Rockets decided to top the Celtics and get blown out by 41. So I didn't feel so bad.
The very next day.
The very next night.
Wow, just blowout weekend.
These
games are terrible.
Just raining threes.
Yes.
So
this is like, well, at least they didn't lose by 41.
I know, right? So you got Houston.
What was that about?
On the edge, on the cusp of going down 3-1, going back to H-Town, and Chris Paul responded because Chris Paul had
big time
14 points in that blowout this time around, 27 points, and it was more offensive and more aggressive in taking his shots. So, I think Chris Paul deserves all the credit for this down the stretch.
Yeah, he came through, man. 27 points, 10 of 20. Harden with 30 points. I mean, that's a recipe for a win if you're the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, 57 points for your backcourt. Yeah,
Eric Gordon, I feel like is so important in this series. Didn't have a crazy game in Game 4, but he did contribute somewhat. So I think he's
not going off again, Sway.
You take that win. Nah, man, don't sleep on Gordon. He went off in Game 2.
I think
he has another one left in him. He has maybe 2 left in him.
Gerald Green will go off before Eric Gordon does in this series. Mark my words.
I don't know about that. I do like Gerald Green though. Green.
Yo,
I like to see the boy shine. But
Gerald Green got the Celtics past Chicago last year. Don't forget that.
I'm not saying I did. I just think
never said I did.
I just think Eric Gordon's a lot more important. And also Trevor Ariza got to show up too, man. Ariza. I don't know if it's just because you're on the road or what it is, but if you can revert to what we saw in Game 2, you put this team in a really good spot. Between Ariza, between Gordon. I always said after Game 2, PJ Tucker is never going to do that again, so you can't rely on that. But if you can get 20-plus points from Ariza and Gordon,
but then there's a lot.
That's too much for the Warriors to handle, and they just lost Iguodala. Iguodala's out.
I know. I understand that.
I don't know what the status is for Game 5, but without Iguodala, I mean, defensively, you've opened up a window here for the Rockets to go ahead and grab another one before the series is done. At least another one, and then we'll see what happens in Game 7.
I understand what you're saying when it comes to these role players for Houston, but it's a big if because they don't do that, and I know in order for Houston to win, they have to do stuff that they don't normally do.
Doesn't that sound familiar though? Doesn't that remind you of the Cavs?
Well,
the other guys.
I mean, with the other guys for the Cavs, they were doing that in the regular season.
What about the postseason?
What I'm saying, but Love
in the postseason,
Love
was
but Love is 20-point scorer, 12 rebound guy.
No, I get that, but in the postseason though,
yeah,
and Love's been that guy. LeBron's been that guy.
Hood was averaging 17, 18 points coming into the postseason.
That's true, but this series has completely switched things around. You got guys who are not sure what their role is. You got guys who are like, all right, we got JR, we got Korver for shooters. Yeah, we got guys that can put the ball on the floor, but who's the consistent producer off those bench? Who's the consistent producers from the other guys? Well, again, look at that box score of Game 4. That's an encouraging side for the Celtics that these guys aren't producing at a high level, but the late game execution is what really did them in that Game 4.
All right, I'm going to take you back to the opposite coast right now. Because with Houston, the difference between Houston and Cleveland is those other guys are veterans who have battle tested. You would think they're battle tested. But, I mean, they've made it here for a reason, right?
Yeah, they put time in.
They put the time in.
Yeah, a lot of time.
So, even though I'm not expecting Eric Gordon to go off, it doesn't mean that someone like I said, like a Gerald Green, like a Taro Ariza, fucking, who else? Who else am I forgetting of?
Eric Gordon.
No.
Come on, man.
I said outside of him.
Come on, throw him in there.
No, man, I'm not throwing him in there. I'm not throwing him in there. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. No,
Yo, don't
Yo,
don't call me crazy, but
Joe Johnson can even
thank
get some
you.
runs, bro.
You just said it, yo.
Joe Johnson can get some
ISO
runs.
Joe. I was like, listen, don't call me crazy, but
Joe Johnson
push
can get
comes to
some
shove,
runs.
and you can't get production from your second unit.
What
Let
happened-
Joe get some.
What happened to
Let Joe get some.
What happened to Ryan Anderson?
Who?
Ryan Anderson. The regular season was very important. I'm just saying, but that's Houston. Houston is so much more deep. And anyone at any point, those guys are capable of having a 20-point game. I'm not saying that that's
Expected. Yeah.
expected or it's, it happens on the regular. But
Right.
for Cleveland, though, outside of Korver and Love, who else? Really, realistically,
That's what I'm saying, though.
realistically,
I feel like for the Cavs to top the
Realistically.
Celtics, everyone they have to rely on so much. They have to rely on the outside shooting. They have to rely on Thompson to not only rebound but give them some sort of production offensively. They have to rely on so many things. Whereas the Celtics, it just comes naturally. I mean, again, you look at that box score, all 5 stars in double figures. Jaylen Brown, 25 points. The majority of these guys scoring anywhere between 45, 44, 45% from the floor. But when it comes down to it, that fourth quarter is going to speak for itself. I mean, LeBron James is LeBron James. LeBron James can obviously not only make the difference in the game, but can put a team on his back and knock you off in the fourth quarter right when you think you're getting ready to make your run. I mean, how many times did we think they're going to make the run? Celtics went back. They were down by 11, pulled back to 8. Down by 11 again, got it down to 7 in that fourth quarter, and just couldn't put together that final run, that final push to even things out. If you put the same scenario in Game 5, I think the Celtics come out of that one.
Well, even if LeBron James scores another 40 points and those other guys don't show up again, they're not going to win the game. They're not.
Why?
Because you have to have at least 3 guys score double digits for the Cavs to have a chance to win outside of LeBron. If Korver goes off again, or if even Kevin Love, because Kevin Love hasn't really had offensively, he's been all right the last 2 games. George Hill had 13 points.
Yeah, he's been good.
You know what? If he's hitting threes, that's a
haven't-
problem.
We haven't even talked about what they've done defensively on Rozier, and Hill has a lot to do with that. They've done a really good job of making him uncomfortable. But like I said, a lot of the times when he puts the ball on the floor, especially in Game 3, it drove me crazy. I'm like, Rozier, just drive.
Yeah.
Just drive. And then in Game 4, when he did drive, he wasn't finishing.
Yeah.
And then he did hit a couple threes, which got himself going. And then, that fourth quarter,
when he opened up the
he
third.
wanted to hit those home runs, and it just didn't work out for
No,
him.
when Rozier opened up the third with the emphatic dunk down the lane, nobody even thought about even stopping that. That's the Rozier
Keep
the
doing
Celtics
that.
need. Yeah, that's the scary Terry.
How many times?
that these fucking need.
How many times in Game?
Not the that's the scary Terry.
How many times in Game 3 he would go inside, and then he would settle for like it was a shot in the paint, but it wasn't like a layup. You know what I mean? It was almost like a
little floater,
like a little floater, but it was it was so timid. He was so timid with it. It's just like, come on, man, finish strong, give it to him. So that's something we're going to rely on because we know what he does at TD Garden. We've seen throughout the entire postseason
That's the difference.
a different Rozier when he's playing on the parquet.
Yeah, but that's the difference between the Warriors and the Celtics, right? When it comes to both teams that are considered the more talented team in their series, but the Warriors technically only need like 2 guys to have a regular night. Not even a huge night, a regular night. If Kevin Durant and Thompson are going off, just for example, right? Because we saw that in the first 2 games. Steph, he was okay.
Yeah, he woke up in game 3.
Yeah, but
The first 2 games. Yeah,
the first 2 games, especially the first game, if Durant is going off and Thompson's going off, and then you got Green doing the dirty work, then that's probably going to be a win.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a win. Switch back to the East. If Terry's not going off, if Brown is not going off, Tatum or Horford, like a combination of those 4, that's a tough game.
All right, let's get into our ending here.
So hold on.
Same way we end every single podcast
I wanna make sure
here
we
on
get-
Causeway Street.
I want to make sure we get this straight. Do you or do you not think that Houston's going to win this series? Because every time I ask you, you're just like, I don't know, man. They could give him a fight.
Yeah, they're gonna
But then
force.
you never say they're going to win.
They're
or
gonna
lose.
force 7, man. They're gonna force 7. All right.
Still doesn't answer my question. Do you think Houston can pull this off? That's all.
All right. Let me tell you this.
Okay.
Let me tell you this, brother. All right.
Maul is. I love how
If-
you holding the mic like LeBron right now.
If they, well, that's because I had a little problem with the stand.
Yeah, sure.
I got physical with our mic stand
Yeah.
last week, so I just threw it to the side and
Just like LeBron does.
did the LeBron thing. Maybe that's gonna be my question after Game 5. LeBron, why do you take the mic off the
Why do you
stand?
take it off and make
Why?
all sorts of noise
Why do you do that?
for our TV viewers?
So listen, if they force Game 7, I'm
And-
going with the Rockets. Wow. Give me the Rockets. Give me the Rockets in Houston. James Harden, Chris Paul going off. Shit. Between Trevor Ariza and Gordon, that crowd going. That's the game you'll see this team score 17 from deep. That's the game where they can talk their shit, where they can do their thing, where they can revert to what you saw in the regular season. However, defensively, they'll put themselves in a space to limit the Warriors, specifically Durant, Thompson. I'm still not seeing it with Steph. He's a little too comfortable out there. If you're the Rockets, if you're a Rockets fan, you're not feeling it. But if you limit the other guys, like you said, if 2 of those guys out of the 3 are going off, you limit those 2 guys, they have enough offensive firepower to knock off the Warriors in that Game 7. So mark my words. Wow. But they have to get it to 7. That's the thing. If they go back to Houston, which I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if the Warriors take that, it's a wrap in 6. They're going to go back to Golden State and wrap it up. They'll win back-to-back. But if Houston takes Game 5, there will be a Game 7. It's very similar to what we're seeing right now between the Celtics and the Cavs. If they force a Game 7, give me the Rockets in Houston. Shocking the world. Houston going to the finals. And if you're a Celtics fan, and if the Celtics are the ones heading into the finals and they're the ones going up against Houston, that's when things get really interesting. Talk about upsets. If you're a Celtics fan, you should keep a very close eye on this Western Conference matchup, the Western Conference Finals matchup, because I'm telling you right now, if it is the Rockets in a hypothetical situation where they're going up against the Celtics in the NBA Finals, the Celtics have a shot. No. Let me scratch that. The Celtics not only have a shot, but they have a really good chance to win the NBA Finals. And that is the final word. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. So you want Houston to win. That's what it boils down to.
I want an upset. Why not? Why not? Who doesn't? Don't you?
No, but
Don't you want the Celtics to win? That's an upset, isn't it?
No, it is. But
Give me an upset.
If it happens, like, and everybody's playing, it's just like head to head, that's fine. But if it's, like you said, maybe the Rockets still haven't had that type of game yet. What you're talking about, like the 17 3-pointers or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I feel like if you force a Game 7, that's when
tough to do
that might come
against
out.
the Warriors, though. That's tough.
Keep an eye on Iguodala's status. Let me tell you
that's tough. And
let me tell you about Iguodala because
if
on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 7 as to how important he is for this team.
Well, I tell you this: if
Against the
Iguodala
Rockets.
doesn't come back, and even watch out for Thompson too, because Thompson
got banged up.
Thompson got a little banged up.
Yeah.
So he might not be 100%. So with that being said, do you know who has to show up? Do you know who has to show up, right?
For the Warriors?
Yeah.
Livingston?
No.
Who?
Kevin fucking Durant. Okay?
Well, yeah, he's gonna show up though. Come on.
I mean, he
That's a
can't. But
given.
he disappeared the other night when it mattered the most. At home, at home, you can't play like a little like little bitch KD in OKC. Can't do that.
That's not gonna happen again.
All right,
It's not gonna happen again.
I mean, we said the same thing that the Cavs supporting cast wasn't going to go off in Game 4, and a lot of them did. A lot of them did.
Yeah, we'll see.
I feel good about the Celtics in Game 5. After that, we'll see what happens. Because I had
This
the,
thing's
I,
going
I had
7,
the Celtics,
man.
I had the
It's going
Celtics in
7.
7. No, I'm not saying that it's not gonna go 7, but I had the Celtics in 7. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I want to say so much more, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. Gonna leave it at that.
All right, what do we miss?
In case you missed it.
In case you missed it, Jalen Rose has sort of made headlines again after a quote about the Celtics that went viral. This time is about Kyrie Irving, though, because before he was talking about Kawhi, going to the Celtics. Well, actually, no, he was saying Kawhi for Kyrie, right? Oh, no, or did somebody else take that and run with it?
Well, no, he was saying that the Celtics would be the best team to put a trade. Don't be surprised if you see them trade one of those guys, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum.
Okay. So before Game 4 of the Cavs Celtics on NBA Countdown, he was with Chauncey and Paul Pierce, and that fucking blonde chick. I don't know what the fuck her name is. I always forget her name. What's her name?
Michelle Beadle.
Is it?
I don't know.
Whatever her name is.
No, it's Michelle Beadle. Come on, man. Pay attention.
My fault, man. Rose believes that Irving would not be happy if the Celtics were to beat LeBron and the Cavs, plus whoever comes out of the West in the NBA Finals.
Why? Because he would have nothing to do with it?
That's probably the main reason that, Rose said that. But I'll let you listen to the little clip here, because he was like he talked to someone, like he has a source.
Kyrie, how should he be feeling about this?
If somebody says Kyrie Irving wants the Boston Celtics to win the championship without them, they're flat out lying to you.
Whoa, here we go.
What?
Here we go.
You think that he wants to see the Boston Celtics win the East and upset the Golden State Warriors?
What do you think?
That's pretty funny. I'm not with it. No, I'm not with it. And here's why. Kyrie knows that this team he's still the leader of this team. He's still the leader of this squad. He knows that at the end of the day, guys aren't going to stick around. There's going to be guys who this team has to move on from. And I get it. Yeah, his contract obviously makes things interesting in terms of where do you put his value at, depending on how he responds next season. But I think if you're Kyrie Irving, you have to not only remember what you did for this team, but you have to say to yourself, the Celtics don't go through that path if it wasn't for me. The Celtics don't win, 55 games if it wasn't for me. So at the end of the day, I mean, his fingerprints are all over this team, regardless of if he wasn't involved in the postseason. But I think his influence on Terry Rozier has played a role. What he did before he went down has played a role. And I also think that what he's going to do moving forward is going to not only progress and get better and be a leader for the Celtics squad moving forward and put them in the position to compete for multiple championships. But I think he's leading the ship regardless of what happens when he's not on the floor.
Wasn't Isaiah Thomas saying the same thing just last year? Around this time?
If this team goes to the finals, that's a whole different conversation, though. And this team is way better than what we saw from Isaiah Thomas' squad.
I'm just saying. Do you think, wasn't Isaiah thinking the same thing? Especially after the comeback win in Game 3 when were only down 2-1 and then leading for 75% of the game in Game 4.
Are you doing the Bledsoe Brady thing right now?
No, all I'm saying is I'm playing devil's advocate, obviously. You never know with Danny, though. Don't you think if Danny's looking at his payroll, because Danny's always scheming, right? Stay scheming. Shout out to you, Rick Ross. If he says, if I could pay Terry Rozier half of what I'm going to pay Kyrie Irving, and I have a chance to go and possibly trade for a Kawhi Leonard, so I get another All-Star, and I got a starting point guard that I'm gonna pay half of what I would have paid Kyrie Irving. Don't you think he would consider it?
Yeah, he would consider it, but I think obviously it comes down to the injury. I mean, we had this conversation with Isaiah Thomas. That's because we didn't understand the extent of his injury, of his hip injury. Now,
but I think
dealing with this knee, and we talked about this after the trade happened, right? I mean, his shelf life isn't as long as we may have expected or thought it was or realized it was because of his knee issues. However, if he's 100% and he's ready to go, and this team can compete in the championship, or I should say not compete in the championship, if they fall short, then yeah, you say to yourself, Kyrie Irving is the difference between them winning the championship or not.
No, I understand all of that.
I guess it's an open-ended.
I understand all that, but
it's an open-ended question, I guess.
Yeah, but
you have to wait and see.
I mean, Danny Ainge took a shot, right? So I'm just gonna put this offer on the table to Cleveland, and Cleveland went for it. Cleveland didn't have to go for it. Cleveland made that trade quickly.
It's funny because we didn't connect the dots because, remember the reports was, Danny Ainge is keeping a close eye on Cleveland. Let them know, hey, if you want to trade some pieces this way. But no one expected the piece to be Kyrie Irving.
I thought that it would have cost way more than what the Celtics gave up to acquire Kyrie Irving. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking to myself, if you acquire Kyrie Irving and you get rid of half your roster, you're going to be playing with a bunch of what? League minimum veterans.
Yeah.
And then, how far are you going to go with that?
Yeah.
But you have Kyrie. You have two young pieces in Tatum and Brown. You have a veteran in Al Horford. You have another all-star in Gordon Hayward. So just those guys alone, and then, a mixture of veterans and other young guys. This is a championship contender, right? Mm-hmm. Just on paper, roster-wise, regardless of who's injured and who's not. But if Danny says, if a team like San Antonio goes for, player for player, and I don't have to give up draft picks or Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, you don't think he's going to pull the trigger on that?
It's tempting.
You don't think he's going to pull the trigger on that? I don't have to give up any of my young guys. I already have a starting point guard that I'm going to pay half, maybe even less than half.
Yeah, but you don't. I don't know, man.
Again, I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying
you need that. You need that closer.
Don't kill me. Don't kill me in the comments because I'm not. I say keep it as is. Obviously, me and Sway. We're on that boat. Let this thing grow organically because it's blossoming pretty goddamn great right now.
Yeah.
Regardless of how this series ends, or regardless if they go, to the next round and whatever happens, it's all gravy from this point forward. But all I'm saying is, if Danny has an opportunity or he sees an opportunity, take a shot, and if it hits and if it lands and the punch lands, we can sit here and say for the next 4 or 5 years it's going to be Philly and Boston.
But you don't know who's going to be on those squads.
Philly. Philly's one Joel Embiid knee injury away from being shitty again. Think about that. You just never know.
Yeah,
but just something to think about.
All right, what else you got?
In case you missed it, congrats to the Celtics forward Jason Tatum on being named to the NBA All-Rookie First Team.
There you go.
Becomes the first Celtic rookie to accomplish such a feat since who? Sway?
Paul Pierce.
1999.
That's right.
Lockout season. Should have been Rookie of the Year that year. That's just me. I digress. Tatum, along with fellow Rookie of the Year finalists Ben Simmons and Mitchell, made the squad, plus Kyle Kuzma and Lauri Markkanen. I think that was a shocker for me. Not a shocker, but a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised, but you almost forgot about him, right? Because the Bulls didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
We've I felt like towards the end of the season, he wasn't making headlines the way he was before. Whereas guys like Donovan Mitchell going off, Tatum obviously going off, so you almost forgot about him. But it makes you think though, what a draft class, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, all those guys. Those 5 guys, they all have the potential to be perennial all-stars,
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. And, we can't help but wonder what could have happened if Markelle Fultz was drafted by the Celtics. It's unbelievable stuff. Can't make this stuff up. The number one overall
we were just talking
pick.
about fucking, Ainge, Jesus, he pulled it off. Again, bro. He could have just kept the first round pick.
So Danny was just throwing out L's.
Could
To
get
everybody.
the first draft pick, and you just could have
Last
just went like, yeah, we're just gonna take Tatum. Everyone thinks we're taking Fultz, but we're taking Tatum. But you know what? I think I can get another team that fucking give up a future first rounder.
And think about what that would have meant for that series against the Sixers, man. Imagine if they have Tatum on their side.
Did you hear
to go up against the Celtics with Fultz and no Irving and no Hayward and no Tatum? Damn, Tatum balled up that series.
No, who was it? Not too long ago was a Hall of Famer. I think it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or no, I think it was Julius Irving actually. The Doc. I think he was the one that was like, yeah, I think Philly went the wrong way and picked the wrong guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, in the Philly series. Yeah,
he was like, you guys fucked up.
Yeah, he's like, somebody done fucked up.
Yeah.
Thought that was interesting.
Could have been yours, Philly.
It could have been yours. Could have been yours. Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell got voted unanimously to the first team, while Tatum missed it by one fucking vote.
Haters.
Wow.
Hater, I should say.
He got one vote for the second team. Why? He's like, why? Why would you think Tatum, after everything he's doing, I mean,
expose yourself, sir.
Like,
who is this guy?
Like, even if
who is it? Who did it?
Show yourself.
Show yourself.
Boo this man.
Speak up, son.
Boo this person. Like, one vote from a unanimous selection on the first team. You know, even Brad Stevens was like, "Yo, somebody fucked up. Somebody fucked up. That person made a mistake."
If you make Brad say that, it's like,
somebody
Brad's like, I didn't deserve any Coach of the Year votes, but that one guy who didn't vote for Tatum, I don't know about him.
He was like,
he needs to lose his job.
You stupid fuck.
I wish Brad could keep it 100 for a second, because deep down inside, Brad wants to say, yeah, I think there's a lot of haters in this league. You know, got a lot of coaches that just don't realize how fucking great of a coach I am, and the fact that I didn't get not one vote from those coaches, just shows how they're haters. They think that it's easy what I'm doing, but I'm fucking genius and on my way to eventually win a championship. And maybe they'll understand, or maybe they're just hating because I came from college and I was supposed to stay there and be the head coach of Butler. And
how crazy is that, yo?
People just stay hating on me all my life. Like, imagine if like Brad could just keep it 100.
Like one day he
just go off.
Like, he doesn't realize there's like so many cameras and all of a sudden he's just like, sorry there, guys.
I bet you the only person that hears that.
We guys were talking about Jason Tatum. Yes.
The only person that hears that is his wife. That's it. He must be like, yeah, these motherfuckers are hating. Says it just like that. Just gotta show him. Gotta show him. Gotta shock the world like I always do.
Prove it to everyone.
But not one fucking vote. You imagine one vote. Like, that's how he talks.
That's the difference.
I can see him saying that. Anyways. All right, what else you got?
In case you missed it, could my man Charles Barkley finally be rooting for the Celtics?
Oh, Chuck.
Could he be rooting for the Celtics, bro?
It's too late, bro.
Yo, let's take a listen, Let's take a listen about who he thinks is going to win the Eastern Conference Finals.
This flip-flopping motherfucker.
Just listen. Just take a listen, man. You'll enjoy it.
If they go to 7, Boston's going to win. I think whoever wins the game tomorrow is going to win that series, whether it's Boston or Cleveland. Cleveland is not going to win Game 7 back in Boston. I thought this was a pick'em series before it started. Like I say, I said last week, if Cleveland win the next 2, it's back to ground, to level ground. But I think whoever wins tomorrow will win the series. I'm with Kenny on this. I got the Celtics in 7.
For Charles to flip-flop like this doesn't surprise me, man. But you got to say it from the jump. Don't be switching sides after you see the Celtics top them in the first 2 games and then say, oh, well, yeah, they're so great on their own floor.
Well, I mean, he's been saying nothing but good things, though, about the Celtics in this series.
Ever since he saw what he saw, but against the Sixers, and he was, this is the, what do you call them, the Eastern Conference Spurs.
He was mad. He was mad that Stevens didn't get any votes from the Coaches Association.
He should be.
Who isn't? Saying that there were haters. He was saying that Smith should have been suspended after the hit on, not the hit, but the push on Horford. I mean, he's been pretty consistent since the end of that Philly series.
Probably bad luck for the Celtics.
Not buying it?
Yes. Not buying it.
Nah.
I want to see Charles call the Celtics winning a series before the very first game starts.
Well, that might happen when Kyrie gets back next season if he doesn't get traded.
You're gonna piss off these. You're gonna piss off these Celtics. You're gonna piss off Celtics Nation. Talking like that.
Look,
you know it's only a matter of time before people.
Saying
you know it's only a matter of time,
but
you know it's only a matter of time before people start saying it. You know it's only a matter of time for people like, hey, give Rose the keys. Some people think that these two can actually be on the same squad for the next 3 years. And have Rose come off the bench. I mean, it's just not going to happen. He's a starter in this league. You got to choose one.
But what happened after Isaiah got traded? How many people were angry? Like, how dare you? He's one of us. I'm just saying, like, Danny, don't doubt Danny that things are supposed to stay the way we assume that they're going to stay. When Danny's like, I got a whole other vision that nobody knows about. Until it happens, and then you're like, "What the?" And then all of a sudden, oh, whoa, no, Danny's a genius again.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Steph Curry's in a Celtics uniform. It's like, wouldn't shock me. Like, oh,
he done messed around. He got Kevin Durant to change his mind and not sign with the Warriors.
You tell me a year ago from today, if someone was like, "Yeah, you know that dude who just Kyrie Irving that just dropped what was it like 18 points in third quarter in Game 4 and stole that game from the Celtics,
save LeBron."
He's going to be on the Celtics team next year.
Multiple occasions.
If someone told me that, I would have been like, guy, stop smoking what you're smoking. It's not. It's never going to happen. What are you talking?
You're right. Like a year ago, if anybody said Isaiah is going to be used to sign Gordon Hayward and he's going to be, the future, I would have said, yeah, that's what it was supposed to be. The Celtics didn't make it past Cleveland because you needed someone like Gordon Hayward.
Right.
The Celtics needed another all-star. Duh. But like literally weeks after signing Gordon Hayward, using Isaiah to sign Gordon Hayward.
See you later.
And Cleveland just, and it got leaked. It wasn't like Cleveland said, oh, we're shopping Kyrie Irving. It was like, Kyrie Irving's not happy. And the light just went off. and Danny Ainge's head. And he probably didn't speak to anybody. He just was like, I'm gonna try to make this happen. That's it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. No, that's it. That's all I got.
What was that? Joe picked up the pad. He was like, that's all it takes. I'm about to go waiting for the smooth transition. That's it. All right. Well, shit. I guess that's gonna do it. In case you missed it.
Subscribe, obviously, to the Causeway Street Podcast on iTunes and the CLNS YouTube channel.
Yes, and give us a rating.
Hell yeah.
Give us a comment. Give us something.
You can also
show some love.
Head to CausewayStreet.com for what Celtics legend Paul Pierce had to say about Jason Tatum.
Yeah, give some clicks too
about his game and
trying to make a living over here.
Being, I know, right? We're trying. Come on, man. We gotta feed our families, man. Come on, man. Hook it up, man.
Need a sponsor. Shit.
Yeah, man.
We're looking like Ernie's needle stat of the night over here. Need a fucking sponsor.
Sponsored by nobody. and that is it for.
In case you missed it.
EJ's needle stat of the night.
Yeah, that's the way we should end every single.
I can't say podcast. JP because it could be like like you're JP, so it's gotta be like I don't know. Joel Hell's stat of the night. Brought to you by not a goddamn person. But before we get up out of here, I gotta wish my brother, my actual brother, for those that don't know, we don't just happen to have the same last name.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence.
It's not a coincidence. We share the same, similar DNA, not the exact same DNA, but
no, we don't.
We have the same mama, same dada. My man, Josue, happy birthday, brother.
Oh, man, thank you. It's actually my birthday, too.
It's actually his birthday.
Yes.
So the Celtics are going to pull it off for you, bro. I was hoping for the sweep, so you wouldn't have to work.
This is the first. This has never happened before.
So we cannot partake in any alcoholic beverages.
No, we can't.
Until after the Celtics win Game 5.
Yes.
I'm saying it. They're going to win Game 5.
Okay. All right. That'd be a great gift because to see the Celtics go up 3-2 against LeBron and the Cavs would be something else with this squad. I appreciate it, Joel. I really do. This has never Joel, continue the music. This has never happened before. So I'm excited. In the past, it's usually been like 2 days before, 2 days after, but right on my birthday, Celtics are playing basketball at home, TD Garden. Can't wait.
Happy birthday to
Great
you,
birthday.
brother. The big 3-0, right?
Nah, man.
No? Okay. 29 for the second
Nah,
year
man.
in a row.
In my 20s forever, man. Come on.
I turned
on,
29 for the fifth straight year.
Not you.
This year.
No, you're past 30, man. Me?
Nah, what you talking about, bro?
Nah, man, I'm still in my
29,
20s.
Yo. We're actually twins, if y'all didn't know that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm
So
not out
it's
of my
also
I'm not out of my
birthday.
20s until my face says so, okay? When people look at me and say, you got to be at least 30, that's when I'm out of my 20s.
Well, same.
Until then.
What the fuck? So no one ever thinks I'm my age. No one. Everyone always shocked when they say well, my age is.
What the fuck, man?
Come on, man.
Why are you getting all defensive? I'm not saying that.
We got good genes, bro.
That doesn't apply for you.
You just said, nah, man, you're well in your 30s. Like my time has passed. My fucking face
No, my
tells
lie.
you that I'm over over 30.
No.
I'm gonna tell mom, for that. Yo. Fuck.
I meant that just for me. We both look like we're damn near, I don't know, 24 or something like that. But all right, I guess it applies for you too. Well, shit. All right, Joel, you're
We got
under
good
32.
genes, bro. We got good genes.
We're both under 30.
We gotta thank moms and pops for having hooking us up with the good genes.
Shit, mom and dad don't even pass for how old they look. Damn.
No, they don't. No, you're right.
You heard that, mom and dad? Both your sons are still in the 30s.
I don't think mom listens to this podcast. I think she'd be devastated to hear our potty mouths.
Yeah, she would. She wouldn't like it at all.
No.
I would receive several phone calls. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
We'd probably go visit her, and then she'd just be sitting there with the bar soap in her hand. We're like, "Oh, what's that, mom?" And just shoving it right.
Oh man, old school.
Straight up Christmas Story style.
Yeah, parents actually do that. Trust us. So what are we doing this weekend? We're going out. You got something planned? You got some surprise I don't know about?
I can't really divulge too much.
Something. I knew it. I knew
it.
I've been telling my boys. I'm like, look, we're gonna do something. I don't know what it is. I can't say because I don't know what this dude has in store.
There might be, females.
Oh man, it's that kind of weekend.
Too much.
Is that kind of weekend?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Might
have to get the Causeway Snapchat going and see what see to give people a peek of what's going on.
End up at the circus. I don't know, man.
If there's enough time,
maybe
there might not be enough time.
Maybe even Home Depot, Bed Bath and Beyond. I don't know if there's gonna be enough time.
It's gonna be enough time.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh man, Frank the Tank gonna be there?
We're gonna find Frank the Tank with his beer bong.
Oh man,
yeah.
Shit, it's gonna get wild.
It's gonna get crazy wild.
It's gonna get crazy wild.
But hold on. I got a little message for you from my boy Ashana Dutra.
Oh, get out of here! Really?
Listen.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. He's singing just for you.
Oh man, good old Sean. Sean loves birthdays.
Yeah,
we got to get him celebrating too.
If
Celebration continues for Sean Dutra this weekend.
If you listen to episode 100, you would think that was us celebrating a birthday, but
Sean with the pipes.
You know what? Maybe if we make a jingle, maybe we'll get a sponsor. We should just go back to doing the jingle again.
Maybe.
CLNS.
You know what? Maybe that was it.
Give us a damn sponsor.
Yo, sponsors came rolling in when that jingle was going on. That's a good point.
Yeah, might have to make that an official jingle.
That might be the secret.
Gotta make that a jingle.
Oh shit. Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Hey, this weekend's gonna be fun. Series has been fun. Obviously, this entire playoff run has been fun. So
love you, bro.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Can't wait.
All your dreams will come true within the next year. I know it.
Oh, I appreciate it, Joe. Thank you. I love you too, bro. We're making strides over here. All right, before we get all sappy and shit, let's cut these mics off.
All right, yo.
We up out of here.
Until next time, obviously, follow us on all social media accounts.
That's right. The Pavones.
All social media outlets.
We'll keep the podcast going while Sean takes care of the fam.
At Causeway Street. Shout out to you, Jordan.
Jordan.
You're going to be the good luck charm for the Celtics.
Epic playoff run you're watching, Jordan. You were born at a great time right now.
Oh, yo,
good time.
Shout out to Erin on Twitter for saying that the only reason why she started...
Oh, Mrs. Rozier.
She started...
Mrs. Rose.
That's right, Mrs. Rose. The only reason why she started watching the Western Conference Finals because she heard our last episode.
That's right. She did say that.
I got to start watching these games then.
Yo, it's funny. I actually met Aaron.
The good thing is they're not playing at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. You know, they're playing earlier.
Yeah, I met Aaron like a couple months ago. I don't even know how long ago it was. It was towards the end of the season, and she's great, man. She's cool. She came up from Florida. She came to check out a game.
Why is this the first time I'm hearing of this?
I didn't tell you. I don't know.
Nah, man.
I'm pretty sure I told you. I think you're just being weird. But yeah, I finally I met her, and it was so cool because I don't meet a lot of our followers, and she's great, man. Obviously, as you can imagine, she was decked out in Celtics gear. Traveled all the way up to Florida. True fan of not only the Celtics but of our podcast. So we appreciate it, Aaron. There's a shout out for you. Long overdue is what I'm trying to say. Shout out for Aaron Rozier,
Mrs.
Rozier,
Rose.
and she was repping Terry before he became Scary Terry. So
look, man,
that's what
I think. Aaron might be one of those.
That's a true fan. She's been Mrs. Rose since day one.
Yeah, I think she's one of the few down since day one Causeway Street Podcast fan.
Oh yeah, she goes back. Yeah.
Her and Learned Citizen too.
Learned Citizen.
What up, bro?
Yeah, we gotta get a live broadcast going soon.
So,
get him
man,
out there.
People come out and support, man. We appreciate that.
All right. Enough of the sappy shit. How did this happen?
Right. That's what happens, man.
Damn it, Joel.
Sorry.
What the fuck?
That's what happens.
Getting old and shit. Getting sappy.
Nah, man. We're getting wiser. Or at least that's what I keep telling myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't use that wine cliche. I don't want to hear it.
No, I wasn't going to.
You thought about it.
No. No. We just get better after we turn 29 again and again and again.
Well, we damn well should. Shit. So much damn life experience.
Well, all I got to say is welcome to the
so
club.
Much time in.
Welcome to the 29.
I don't know what club you're talking about,
it's called
man.
the 29 Plus Club. That's all it's called. That's what I was going to say. 29 Plus. That's all.
Right.
It's the 29 Plus Club.
That's what's up.
All right?
Yeah.
I'm the bouncer. So you're lucky I'm letting you in.
You've been holding this spot for a minute.
Holding it down, man. Holding it down.
for 4 years, been holding this shit down.
Our VIP, bro. VIP. Until next time, folks.
We out. Appreciate it.
Be kind to yourselves and each other.